Hello again. Way back in the day, during the first section of the course, we introduced what we called the big table of actors. A table with 5 types of actors you will encounter in your online life. While not an exhaustive list, it showed what information these actors are looking for, how they obtain it, and what they do with it. We have been referencing the big table throughout the rest of the course, and we left the last 2 rows of the table empty, with the promise that we will be back later on to explain how online pseudonyms protect you from these actors, and how they do not. Now, just like the Terminator, we are back. The time has come to fill out these remaining 2 rows. Like we did before, we will split this into several episodes. Each episode will focus on one of the actors from the big table. In this episode, we will start with the first type of actors, websites. Let's go! First, we will sum up what we learned last time when we visited websites in the big table. We are talking specifically about standalone news outlets, forums, hobby websites, shopping portals, etc., who are not a part of a larger ecosystem. They are interested in information like your name, demographics, email address, and payment card details if there is purchases or subscriptions involved. Usually, you provide this yourself when you register. Websites also track how you engage with them, the pages you open, the posts you make, the elements you click. This is handled by analytical frameworks integrated into the websites. Websites use the collected information in several ways. First, they may tailor the content they offer to you specifically. Second, they may run marketing campaigns or promotions, both on the websites or by mail or phone calls. Lastly, they can just sell the data to other actors from the table. The callback we just did to refresh our memory, together with what we have learned about online pseudonyms in practice, will help us answer the 2 main questions of this episode. We will begin with describing how online pseudonyms aid you when dealing with the various websites. Back in one of the initial episodes, we broadly defined that one of the benefits of online pseudonyms stems from the extra abstraction they create from your actual identity. This benefit applies to websites in several ways. First, by creating a pseudonym, you give the website a fictitious identity, which is irrelevant if sold. By extension, if you utilize different pseudonyms for different websites, it is harder for other actors to aggregate them into a single profile, especially if combined with other techniques like browser isolation. Second, the pseudonym identity makes you less vulnerable to cyberbullying, blackmail, or other types of online abuse. You have the power to just abandon the pseudonym if things get too bad. In addition, this pseudonym identity gives you extra insurance if the website's user database gets breached by hackers. Then, your real personal information will not fall into the hands of said hackers. The exact level of protection which online pseudonyms give you against cybercriminals is the topic of one of the upcoming episodes. Fourth, engaging with the websites through an online pseudonym prevents them from profiling you and modifying their content based on your location, demographics, or other characteristics. Fifth, by using different email aliases, virtual payment cards, or virtual phone numbers for different websites, you can find out which one of them is selling your data, or trying to abuse it themselves. For example, if you start receiving multiple robocalls on the phone number which you gave to maybeshadywebsite.com, you can be quite confident that maybeshadywebsite.com's business is quite shady indeed. Then, you can take preventive actions to stop their hijinks. Another perk online pseudonyms give you when browsing websites is the capability to revoke the information which has already been shared. Like we demonstrated in the previous episodes, this manifests in several scenarios in practice. 1. Virtual payment methods allow you to revoke the payment card when it falls in the hands of malicious websites, which will prevent unwanted extra charges to the card, and thus loss of money and credit score. You can also disable email aliases if you start receiving excessive amounts of spam or scam messages. The same advantage applies to virtual phone numbers as well. They all give you better control over the communication with the websites. This was a summary of what we learned about the upsides online pseudonyms give you when interacting with websites. Being objective as usual, we will now talk about the ways online pseudonyms are not enough. First, you still open pages, click on links, read articles, and have all types of interactions with the website. We have mentioned that websites are instrumented with frameworks which can track these interactions and aggregate metrics on them. Even if you are hidden behind a fictitious identity, these are valid metrics which the websites can use. By extension, you also make posts, leave comments, buy stuff, and perform all other types of actions. Like with the previous example, the pseudonym doesn't fully hide you. 1. Because in your posts, you may inadvertently share some of your real information, like your actual address or name. 2. Because these actions reveal your preferences, interests, hobbies, or spending habits. Even if they don't know the actual name or address of the person doing these actions, this is still a rich trove of information for the website owners. To summarize, online pseudonyms can provide you with a good amount of leverage over websites. However, to fully make use of it, you should still practice restraint of how much information you share, directly or indirectly. In this episode, we started our final push to revise the big table of factors, with regards to how online pseudonyms help you when dealing with websites, and how they may not be enough. In the next episode, we will do the same with our old friends, data brokers.